Welcome to the introduction to Mixtape Rewind Stamp Set and Dies. This really fun set is very nostalgic and takes me back, and I'll tell you, I had so much fun creating with it. So, what this creates is a cassette tape. You have lots of dies in here to decorate your cassette tape, plus the stamp set to put your title of your cassette tape on there, which in turn will be your greeting. So let's take a closer look at those greetings. First, you have some lines at the top, which is for the top of your cassette tape, and I'll show you that in a moment. We have thank you, hey friend, you're my jam, happy birthday, take time to unwind, and then you can do you're a hit or you are number one. And then you have A and B, so you can put A or B on there for the side of your tape. For the coordinating die set, we have the die at the top there is kind of your outline to really build up and customize your cassette tape. There's the inside pieces to decorate it in various colors. We have music notes, we have a You Rock sentiment. There's also some hearts on there. And some additional dies that we have is for you to be able to create an actual cassette note card and a pocket card. There's also a die. The die itself actually creates six small cutout pieces. Here that I'm pointing to, I die cut them out of multiple shades of cardstock to decorate the edge of my cassette tape. So, one of the pieces I want to show you first is the actual piece to create a note card, and this will give you a shape card. On the actual piece, the die will provide some scored lines. Now, I'm trying to get my camera to focus. It didn't really want to focus here, but there is a center line to score to fold it in half. And there's also some score lines in you, and that's going to help with the alignment for the center piece of your cassette tape and also the three lines on the side. So all you'll need to do is just fold that in half and reinforce that fold with a bone folder, and that's going to create your shape card. Now, if you just want to have the cassette on the front of your card and not have it be a shape card or a note card, you could just trim that right along that score line. So now I'm going to show you how these pieces would layer together to actually create the cassette tape. I did speed up this part of the video, but it's going to be really easy to follow along with once you get the feel of what each of the pieces do. Now, all of these off on the left-hand side, I just have tacked down onto cardstock with repositionable tape. So I'm just going to remove them and I'm adding some liquid glue behind them to attach them to the front of the note card. All I'm doing is taking those three lines, lining them up with the score lines on my note card, and then attaching them. You are going to want to do these strips first. Then you can put your outline of your cassette tape down, lining up those center holes and the edges of the cardstock. We have three pieces that we're going to use to decorate the middle of our cassette tape. The first one there, the small one, is our actual tape. And then we have two additional pieces. These are going to line up behind each other. And there are little etched lines on here as well to help you line up your tape. So this one's going to go on kind of those spiral pieces. And then we have the piece that's going to layer on top to give it that outline. And this is going to line up over those score lines that are on that white cardstock. And then that bottom piece to add definition to our cardstock, which is also really fun to pop up with some thin foam squares. Creating this brought back so many memories of all the different kinds of cassette tapes that I had. So I had a lot of fun putting this together with these bright colors. I used sweet pea, lemongrass, and aqua sky for those stripes. Now, remember back to our stamp set, we have those two lines, and those you would stamp in the open area of your cassette tape. You could also do a sentiment, the thank you, the hey friend, all fit in there. Now we'll take a look at the pocket that you can put this shaped note card in. So this is another die on the set. There are scored lines on there. All you need to do is fold that in half once again, reinforce that with a bone folder, and then you have two flaps that you're going to want to fold in and reinforce those folds as well. I'll then add a little bit of liquid glue to the inside of those flaps and then just fold the bigger flap over. And what I like to do is just place something heavy on it and let that sit for a minute or two. The liquid glue is a nice strong adhesive and holds up really well for this. Then we can take our cassette note card and it fits perfectly inside. I think this is also a great way to present a gift card or maybe a little bit of money tucked in there, depending on the time of year, if you have maybe birthday or graduation. Now we're going to take a look at some projects that I created with this. So first I have one of those pockets and I did the U Rock on the front. The U Rock also has kind of that cascading shadow layer behind it. And all I did was put strips of cardstock down and then die cut the shadow out of that striped cardstock that I created. Then I can pull out my cassette tape. And once I have a color combination that I really love, I kind of stick with it. So right now I'm really hooked on the sweet pea, lemongrass, aqua sky, and I also threw in buttercup once in a while. We also have those fun music notes, which I used on this card. So in the background, I have the sunburst card front die to have those rays kind of coming out of the center. And then for my cassette tape, so remember the piece that folded in half that is white that we layered our cassette on? Well, with that white cardstock, I ink blended on it with sweet pea, buttercup, and aqua sky, and then attached all of my pieces to give it that really fun blended look. And then I just filled in around it with different colors of hearts and music notes. This is another cassette that I created, and this time I did the word hit up at the top there. So I stamped Oceanside onto Aqua Sky cardstock. I figure with that one, I can put it on a card front and do the your at the top. And then here's another pocket that I did. So I just had a lot of fun doing the different sentiments. This one is take time to unwind. Did some cardstock strips on the front of that pocket and a sentiment that says, "You're my jam." So I just had a lot of fun with this color scheme and this particular set because this was right in my wheelhouse. And that's a closer look at the Mixtape Rewind stamp set and dies, which are now available at Concord and Ninth. Thanks so much for watching.